Welcome to Release Readiness Live. I'm Elna Miller, your host for today. We are coming to you from our home studios again to share some of the new features in the Spring 21 release. After our product team shares the highlights, we're going to take some time to answer your questions live on the air. We will be monitoring both the Release Readiness Trailblazers community as well as Twitter. So please post your questions early and use the hashtag Salesforce Live. For your longer, more detailed questions, we recommend posting those in the community so the conversation can continue after the webcast. If we don't get to your question live on the air, don't worry, we'll be sure to follow up with you within a few days. All of our webcasts will be available for later viewing on the Salesforce Live website. And since we may be covering the roadmap and making some forward-looking statements, we ask that you please make sure that any purchasing decisions you make be based on currently available functionality. Now let's get started with Service Cloud and meet our product managers.
Thanks, Elna. Hi, everyone. My name is Ruchi Kumar, and I'm a product manager on the Service Cloud team, managing some of our key core service feature sets. I'm very excited to share the new features we are launching as part of the upcoming Spring 21 release. So let's get started.
In this release, we continue to focus on accelerating the customer service journey to get you up and running quickly with a new Service Cloud app that comes with even more out-of-the-box configurations. With the Service Setup Assistant, which launched in winter 21, we've made it easier than ever to get started with Service Cloud. Service Setup Assistant is available to all orgs with the Setup app that are PE Edition or above. Within a few minutes and only a few steps, your team can begin supporting customers and closing cases quickly. Service Setup Assistant creates an out-of-the-box service app that is optimized with layouts and configurations based on industry best practices, so your agents are empowered to collaborate and solve issues faster. These default configurations include service profiles, routing queues, and best-in-class case record page layouts. In addition, the out-of-the-box Service Cloud app comes with pre-built productivity tools, including time-saving macros, frequently used quick text, and popular flows. And in Spring 21, we're introducing even more default configurations in Service Setup Assistant. This includes, with the proper licensing, chat, messaging, and knowledge enablement. Knowledge comes with a default Knowledge Manager profile, permission set, pre-built knowledge article layout, and content fields. We've also added omni-channel queue-based routing, pre-built case status picklist values, and enabled case merge. In addition, we have in-app walkthroughs that explain macros and quick text. As well as for orgs that turned on Service Setup Assistant in previous releases or purchased upgrades, we have a manual update that can be elected to have the most up-to-date service app. Furthermore, with out-of-the-box entitlements, we have pre-configured one standard entitlement process, and 3 milestones: first response, escalate case, and close case, thus giving you a jumpstart on using this powerful feature from the get-go. Not only are out-of-the-box entitlements available with all the other goodness of Service Setup Assistant, existing customers who just want to try out entitlements alone can go to Entitlement Settings and turn on enablements to also avail this feature. There is one caveat that I must point out here. As with any feature we enable as part of Service Setup Assistant, we never want to in any way change or edit existing customer configurations, so if you have already enabled entitlements or have existing entitlements and milestones, there will be no change. And we're not stopping there. We continue to invest in delivering faster value to our customers in their service journey. In future releases, we will add to Service Setup Assistant default email templates, surveys, an out-of-the-box Help Center community, and pre-configure Einstein article recommendations for our knowledge. Before we jump into the demo, we have one special request from you. As we continue to focus on the service admin experience, we would love to get input from our admin community to make sure we are building for your needs. Please join our Service Admin Advisory Board. This will involve limited time on your end and allow you to contribute to our next exciting set of features. We'd greatly value your insight. If you're an admin and interested, please fill out the sign-up form posted in the Release Readiness Live Trailblazer community. With that, we'll dive into a demo and see Service Setup Assistant in action. Let's meet Maria. Maria is a relatively new Salesforce admin to Sunshine Chocolates, a popular and growing chocolate maker. Sunshine Chocolates already uses Sales Cloud for their sales reps. Maria has been tasked with setting up and trying out Service Cloud for Sunshine Chocolates' customer support team. To get started, Maria opens Setup and navigates to the Service Setup Assistant. Service Setup Assistant is Maria's new one-stop shop for setting up her team's Service Cloud experience. A single click of this toggle turns on the Service app and lets the assistant go to work. Salesforce works behind the scenes to allow Maria's team to support customers over email, setting up case routing queues, and user profiles, all with the goal of saving her team time. Within moments, she has an app preloaded with best-in-class layouts and productivity tools including macros, quick text, and flows to close cases in record time. Cinter.org has the proper licensing. Knowledge and chat are also enabled along with their respective permission sets and queues. Furthermore, default OmniQueue-based routing is set up for Maria's customer service team. All of this occurs within a matter of minutes. Once the process is complete, Maria just needs to click Get Started to finish the rest of setup. Next is setting up Email to Case. This will turn emails into cases that are routed directly to Maria's service team. To set this up, Maria must enter Sunshine Chocolate's support email address and thereafter click Generate Address. Clicking this button allows Salesforce to intake the support email address Maria entered and generate a secure custom email address for her. To set up email forwarding to Salesforce, Maria needs to copy this generated email address and enter it in the settings of her email provider. She can also send emails to this generated secure custom email address to test out email to case omni routing, which we will demonstrate momentarily. And with that, Maria just needs to verify the email address that she entered as so to have email to case set up. The last step is for Maria to add her teammates to the Service Cloud app. She decides to start off by only adding Jen, a rockstar agent on Sunshine Chocolate's customer support team. Maria does so easily by clicking on Add Users, entering Jen's email address, a unique username, first and last name, then selecting a profile for Jen, Service Agent. Service Setup Assistant creates 3 out-of-the-box profiles as part of building a service app for Sunshine Chocolates: Service Agent, Service Supervisor, and Knowledge Manager. These profiles come with pre-built productivity tools, permission sets, and default case record page layouts based on industry best practices. It's recommended that Maria continues to select one of these 3 profiles based on her service needs. In addition, 2 default queues have been created: Service Case and Service Chat. Since Jen's responsibility is to answer customer questions that come in via email, Maria assigns her to the Service Case queue. With that, Maria just needs to hit Add User, and Jen will receive an email letting her know that she's been added to the Service app. Maria can continue to add more individuals on her team by following the same steps, but for now, she hits Finish. She then hits Complete and she's set. Sunshine Chocolates has a service console outfitted with optimal configurations. How easy was that? She's welcome to add even more configurations by selecting these additional wizards in Recommended Setup. Maria is excited to check out her new service app. To take a look, she navigates to the app via App Launcher. Upon clicking on the service app, Maria finds a default navigation bar. She clicks on Cases, where she finds sample cases. By clicking on one of the sample cases, Maria is able to see the default case record page layout with case details, pre-built productivity tools, and knowledge all in one place. Maria heads over to the case feed and clicks on Email to find preloaded quick texts that are ready to use with case merge fields. As she tries one out, she can already see how this will save her team time, as they will not have to type out the same email to customers in response to similar inquiries or updates. Maria then navigates to the default utility bar and selects macros to find 3 pre-built macros for routine tasks already available out of the box. She runs one escalate case and can tell that the macro is applied not only through the green notification, but also by noticing that the status changes in the case details component. Thereafter, Maria decides to try out a preloaded flow in the actions and recommendations component. She clicks on the create a case flow as this is a frequent step performed by her agents. She tries it out with one of the customer inquiries that have recently come in. She enters in the customer's name, John Smith, to confirm customer info, adds the customer's phone number to confirm customer details, and finally fills in customer details. In this case, the customer is inquiring about a box of chocolates they ordered that they haven't received, which requires the agent to then look into the tracking number for the shipment. With that, Maria is easily able to create a case and see it in her case list view. Lastly, Maria wishes to test out the Omni routing and teams up with Jen, the agent on her team that she added to this app, to try out Omni. Using the custom secure forwarding address that was created as part of the setup wizard, Maria types out an email that Sunshine Chocolates commonly gets from their first-time chocolate buyers after they finish their first box, which asks for a discount on a second order, and she fires it off. Jen then logs into the service app with her agent profile, navigates to Omnichannel in the utility bar, and sets her status as available. Just like that, Jen receives a case based off the email Maria sent, which she can then click into and respond to, validating that Omni is set up and the team can begin closing cases right away. Fast forward a few months and the Sunshine Chocolate service team is really loving their new app. However, they would now like to open up messaging as another channel with their customers. They decide to upgrade so that they can have a license that supports messaging. Service Setup Assistant picks up on this upgrade and is ready to help. By navigating to Service Setup Assistant again, Maria sees under Recommended Setup that there is a new gray notification. This notification shares that Maria's app has updates and directs to a help doc for Maria to check out potential updates. By clicking on Get the Update, Maria's app then updates for the upgrade, enabling messaging as well as creating a messaging queue and permission set, thereby making sure Sunshine Chocolate's service app remains most up to date. So there you have it. Like Maria's team, your team can too begin serving your customers right away. Check out Service Setup Assistant, and if you'd like to provide input on our next generation of admin features, please do join our Service Admin Advisory Board. Next, let's share the enhancements we're making to Macro Builder. We've heard your feedback. Based on customer demand, in Spring 21, we will be supporting complex page layouts with multiple tabs in Macro Builder. Customers can now switch tabs while building macros without requiring navigation to Lightning App Builder, such that in one time a more complex multi-step macro can be created to assist agents with quickly performing routine tasks and boost their productivity. The clickable tabs are distinguishable in Macro Builder by a dotted border around the respective tabs, and these tabs include accordions. So get started on building macros that save time and bring joy to your agents. Moving on to email updates. In the past few releases, we have focused on making email more robust. Let's start with what's coming soon. Firstly, thank you for your feedback on the updated email to case threading behavior. Your input has helped us identify different use cases that need attention. While Spring 21 does not have any updates, we are targeting the summer release to fulfill issues with bounce emails and process builder integration. Thank you for your patience and continued feedback. We are also hosting a webinar on February 9th, 2021 to dive into the details of the updates. Please register. Also, after all your feedback, we have decided to postpone the enforcement of this email to case threading release update to winter 22. In the Spring 21 release, we will continue to ensure that our email solution is robust and secure. To that end, we have another release update scheduled for enforcement in Spring 22 around email notifications from no reply at salesforce.com. Customers now have the ability to set a specific customer verified address for from address for any system-generated email notifications. The high-level functional impact if customers choose to continue to use no reply at salesforce.com is that the notifications will be sent in plain text. We understand that this change is nuanced and possibly confusing, so look out for another webinar on this specific feature where we will deep dive into all the different use cases. As you heard earlier, knowledge has been added to the Service Setup Assistant to get you up and running quickly with knowledge. In addition, we have 2 feature enhancements this release. First, favorites will now redirect to the latest version of articles. Previously, if an article had a new version created after the favorite was created, the favorite link would not show the article for a user that did not have access to archived versions. Now, users will be redirected to the latest version if one is available. Second, you can now add alt text to images in Lightning Knowledge to help with accessibility. Screen readers use the alt text for the image to describe the image embedded in the article to visually impaired users. Coming soon, we will introduce additional enhancements to the Service Setup Assistant experience to make setting up knowledge even faster.
We can't wait to hear your feedback on the features released this spring and are excited for you to see what we have in store for future releases. So stay connected on much, much more coming from Core Service. Passing it over to Priyank to share the amazing features in store for Service Cloud Voice.
Thanks, Ruchi. Hello, my name is Priyank Saxena. I'm Director of Product Management on the Service Cloud Voice team. This is Service Cloud Voice's 3rd release, and I'm very excited to share the new features we are launching as part of Spring 21 release. So let's get started.
Service Cloud Voice is an intelligent telephony solution inside Service Console. There are several innovative features in Spring 21 to improve conversational agent and supervisor productivity. Starting with Queued Callback, this was one of the top customer requests. It is now a standard feature, which I will demo shortly. Service Cloud Voice now natively integrates with high-velocity sales, and Sales Cloud really enabling sales use cases on a single contact center. Supervisors can whisper directly to agents along with the ability to view multiple voice transcripts in real time. And we are continuously expanding our voice-based AI footprint with the launch of exciting voice intelligence pilots like Einstein Real-Time Intents, Einstein Call Wrap-Up to unlock the value of real-time transcription. We'll cover them in more details shortly. We want our customers to realize increased time to value with their investments in Service Cloud Voice as we do more heavy lifting with our product partnership with Amazon. We are further enhancing voice setup to auto-provision contact flows, updating lambdas, so no more need to download from Git repo. With the pilot of Bring Your Own Telephony pilot in Spring 21, Service Cloud Voice is now expanding integration with additional telephony providers. Let's review some of these features in detail. Queued Callback, being one of the top customer feedback, is now a native feature part of Service Cloud Voice. Reduce long hold time for your customers by letting them being called back without losing their position in the queue. This not only allows your contact center to better manage the high call volumes, improve customer experience, but also reduces the overall telecom and platform cost of your solution. The spring release will also include sample contact flows pre-configured with callback that you can deploy to your contact center with a simple click of a button from a setup page. We are excited to launch HVS integration with Service Cloud Voice. Service Cloud Voice now not only supports service agents, but can support sales reps for inbound and outbound calls. Customers can set up one contact center with an option like press 1 for sales and press 2 for service, allowing seamless integration of call and customer 360 data between sales and service organizations. Sales cadence is defined in HVS, moves to next step, and updates automatically based on call disposition status, with much improved click-to-dial and auto-logging of tasks. Next is call collaboration. Boost your service team's productivity by collaborating directly on the voice call recording audio player. Agents can mention other team members on the specific snippet of the voice call recording that needs attention or call to action. No need for team members to listen to full length of the call. These collaboration snippets are published as chatter threads. Launched as pilot in Spring 21, after conversation work will optimize and standardize time needed for follow-up tasks across service team. Critical in reducing average handle time, supervisors can configure the max after conversation work time in Salesforce before the agents are available for inbound customer calls from Amazon Connect. Additionally, supervisors can view the after conversation work timer in Salesforce Omni Supervisor. Now, with general availability of transcription APIs, customers can read, update, and bulk upload transcriptions to Service Cloud Voice. These Connect APIs will allow customers to redact transcript data or upload transcripts for languages not currently supported in real-time transcribe. Voice intelligence is a key value proposition for Service Cloud Voice customers, increasing customer experience and agent productivity by automating repetitive tasks and surfacing relevant next best action to assist agents. Launched at Spring as pilot, customers can leverage machine learning to detect customer intents from raw real-time transcriptions and recommend next best action, business flows, call scripts, or execute a job on a remote system. Agents don't have to be overwhelmed by various applications and processes. Instead, they can focus on human-to-human conversation. Another exciting voice pilot is Einstein Call Coaching. Available as post-call experience, call coaching uses AI and NLP to analyze every call to highlight key moments, product mentions, compliance adherences, or your custom-defined topics on a scale. Agents and supervisors can unlock hidden insights from calls, leading to actions, training, and opportunities for improvements. Let's review some of these features in live demo. Let's start with how Service Cloud Voice can enable both sales and service organization on a single telephony platform. Okay, I'm logged into Salesforce as a sales rep, and similar to service agents, using single omni-channel control, I will make myself available for voice. As I'm reviewing my leads, let me add a lead to a simple call sales cadence. Before adding, let's review sales cadence. UI is very similar to Lightning Flow. It is a playbook to execute on lead or an opportunity. I have a simple one set up here. Once a lead is added to cadence, it starts with the introductory call, and depending on the call results, it follows one of these two paths. So let me add Anne to sales cadence and switch to my work queue. I can see Anne is now in my work queue. I will directly make an outbound call from work queue. And let me mute the line. Once the call is connected, call script pops up, and so is voice call as subtab with mini phone control, real-time transcripts, call recording, and other common voice components. Let me end the call and pretend I left the voicemail as a call disposition status. So with this integration, lead is automatically moved to the next step based on the call disposition, and the task was logged as well. This really demonstrates how sales and service organizations can collaborate on a customer 360 platform with unified voice experience. Now let's look at after call work. This new setting under Service Channel Setup node would allow administrators to define the after call work duration. Once this duration is set, the new call is routed to agents once the time has elapsed. Supervisor can also view the status and timer in Omni Supervisor console. For the next demo, let's review queued callback feature. For this demo, I will be playing the role of both customer and an agent. So first, I'm logged into Service Cloud Voice as an agent, ready for a phone call. Next, let me dial in as customer. I hope you can hear the options on IVR to call back.
Press 1 for queue. Press 2 for callback. Please enter a callback number. An agent will call you back shortly. Goodbye. Started streaming for outbound calls on Amazon Connect.
Since the wait times were much longer, as a customer, I picked the IVR option to be called back. Now let's switch to agent. Customer is called. Once the wait time is reached, an agent receives the call as a regular inbound call, but categorized as a callback. All right, so moving on to the last demo, let's switch to post-call experience and review exciting call collaboration component on voice call. This component will further elevate agent productivity and cross-team collaboration. With the Spring 21, service and sales team can directly mention other team members on the specific snippet of a call recording on the call recording player. Let me mention my team member Jenny to review customers' feedback. And another feedback for pricing. Agents don't have to listen to full call recording, but can navigate directly to relevant content. Comments are highlighted as diamonds on the call player. And with call coaching for service available as pilot, customer can further unlock the insights from call recording. Call coaching will highlight mentions and keywords right on the player, enabling supervisors to review insights across collection of calls or zero in on a specific call that needs follow-up action, or build a call library with the call collections.
That's all I have for demo. Look out for more innovation coming up in this space. Over to Maya for more updates on digital engagement. Take it away, Maya.
Thanks, Priyank. Hi, everyone. My name is Maya Holakati, and I'm an Associate Product Manager on the Digital Engagement team. I'm very excited to share the new features we are launching for the Spring 21 release. All right, let's get started. In digital engagement, we're constantly focused on innovation and how we can improve your agent and customer experiences. Currently, our next generation chat product called Messaging for In-App is in pilot, but we have many exciting products and features coming up from the traditional web chat to supporting other messaging channels like Apple Business Chat. We want you to have multiple touch points with your customers, and we're not stopping there. We're constantly focusing on how we can increase the agent and customer interactions, such as transferring chats between agents, conversation history, and structured content. Our new chat product, called Messaging for In-App and Web, will enable our customers to provide a service experience unlike any other. Now, conversations are persistent and can live across the different touchpoints customers use. Conversations are asynchronous, which means our customers no longer have to worry about dropped connections during their chats. And end users can navigate away from conversations on a mobile device and be notified via push notifications when agents respond to their messages. Developers will be able to easily embed messaging with our mobile SDKs and automatically generate HTML and JavaScript code snippets. Lastly, it's built with privacy and security in mind, so it meets the stringent requirements of financial and healthcare customers. Messaging for In-App is running pilot this spring for iOS, and Messaging for Web will be piloting in the summer, so reach out to your account teams for more information. I want to take a quick moment to highlight the differences between our chat product, Live Agent, and our new chat product, Messaging for In-App and Web. You might be thinking, aren't they both just chat products? Well, like I mentioned before, conversations can now be continued if the internet connectivity is regained. This means fewer drop conversations, which increases agent productivity and customer satisfaction. 2, messaging for in-app and web will have consistent data models with your other messaging channels, meaning reporting will be consistent. Metrics and KPIs can be measured in the same way, all in one report. And 3, we will have richer chat experiences, so conversations are faster to resolve, while also unlocking new use cases like payments and authentication. Lastly, we'll have declarative setup experiences, so no longer will you need to rely heavily on your developers. Let's dive a little bit deeper onto what these new setup experiences are. We're reimagining setup for messaging for in-app and web. You told us that setup took too long and it was complicated, and we listened. We're redesigning setup so it emphasizes in-app guidance and visual cohesion. No longer will you need help docs, forums, and the org open to set up messaging channels. We're bringing all of that into the admin setup experience so you won't need to leave the setup node. Also, we'll have real-time previews so you know exactly what you're setting up while you're configuring the setting. We want to give you time back so you can focus on helping your customers. With that, let's dive into a demo and see messaging for in-app in action. Let's meet Jay Wright, who just ordered chocolates from Sunshine Chocolates, but he has some questions about his order. So right here on the screen, I have the agent console on the left and Jay Wright's iPhone on the right. He opens up the Sunshine Chocolate app and types into the chat he's confused about his order. This conversation pops up on the agent console on the left, and the agent has some context about the conversation. The agent joins and responds to Jay Wright. This message shows up on Jay Wright's iPhone. Today, if Jay Wright leaves the app or it crashes, he would have to start a new conversation with a different agent. But with our new chat experience, he can drop in and out of conversations without disrupting his conversation with the agent. Now, say Jay Wright kills or backgrounds the app, and he opens the app back up. He can still see the chat history, but more importantly, he can still respond to the agent. He lets the agent know he can't see his order, and the agent gets the message. With our new chat product, agents and customers can continually have seamless, persistent conversations. So there you have it. Like Jay Wright, your customers can persistently begin having conversations with agents. Again, messaging for in-app is running pilot, so reach out to your account teams if you're interested. Not only have we created a next-generation chat product, but it's powered by an intuitive, easy-to-use agent routing tool. We no longer need to code a chat button directly to a queue. Now we can leverage the power of Lightning Flow with pre-built Omni actions and templates to configure where a conversation needs to be routed to whether it's to a specific queue, set of skills, or direct to an agent. We can use information from the customer's interactions, like what web page they're on, or perform record lookups to determine if they're a high-value customer to make sure the right conversation gets to the right agent as fast as possible. Currently, chat and case routing using Flow is in pilot. We've received a lot of interest in it, so we recommend customers wait till the summer for a GA. However, if you are interested in participating earlier, you can reach out to your account teams. In the summer, the remaining features will be generally available. We'll roll out support for all digital channels, including our other messaging channels and Service Cloud Voice, as well as supporting routing to and from an Einstein bot and transfer routing from agent to agent. While we're just introducing the Flow framework within messaging, we have many options coming your way. Now you'll be able to configure the design for the entire business process for an inbound conversation. For example, when a chat request comes in, you'll be able to create flows to determine what should happen with it. You can determine whether there is a matching contact, case, lead, or something else, and what information to pop open to the agent when they accept the work. We have so much more coming your way, so stay tuned for future releases. So far, I've discussed how our new chat product is invaluable from an architectural and setup perspective. These experiences are amazing for our admins and agents, but you might be wondering, how will your customers' experience change? With these new set of features, we're working on what makes the chat experience richer for both the customer and the agent. Going forward, customers and agents can exchange photos within the chat instead of disrupting conversation to exchange them via email. Admins can enable read receipts and typing indicators so customers and agents will have transparency on the status of the conversation. Lastly, we'll have mobile push notifications available so customers can be notified when an agent responds to them. We can't wait to hear your feedback on the features released this spring and are excited for you to see what we have in store for future releases. So stay connected on much, much more coming from digital engagement. And that's it for me, turning it over to Avantika to share exciting updates coming from the Einstein Bots team.
Thanks, Maya. Hi, everyone. My name is Avantika Ramesh, and I'm a product manager on the Einstein Bots team. Today, I'm really excited to introduce the latest features the Einstein Bots team is launching as part of the spring release to make our bots users more efficient and effective. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Let's talk about the world of Einstein Bots and the exciting features we have for you in our spring 2021 release. In this release, you can build more intelligent chatbots in less time with our new enhancements. First up, we've got Article Answers, where Einstein helps you automate answers to frequently asked customer questions using your Salesforce knowledge articles. Next, we've got time series bot metrics, so you can now track key metrics to help you monitor and improve the performance of your bots. We're also simplifying the bot building process through new UI enhancements and NLP improvements in the bot builder. And finally, we're excited to announce that Einstein Bots now supports compliance with the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Acts, also known as HIPAA, in the web chat and in-app channels. Before I move on to the details of these features, here's a quick sneak peek on what's coming in our next release. We've got multilingual bots and rich content support in bots. Let's get started by talking about Article Answers. With Article Answers, your bot can deliver high-quality answers to customer questions using your Salesforce knowledge articles. Driven by NLP, your bot will be able to answer common questions without the need to train intents for a large amount of your content. By increasing your bot's response accuracy for commonly asked questions, this could result in a deflection rate that is multiple times higher than what it is today and increase your agent's efficiency. This feature is in pilot in the spring release and will be available for all customers in the next summer release. If you are interested in joining this pilot, you can reach out to your account team. Now, let's see how Article Answers works. When your customer interacts with your bot, they can ask any question in their own conversational style. And if your bot identifies a similar question within your knowledge base, the corresponding answer will be provided along with an optional feedback dialog. So how can we get this feature up and running? Through a simple setup experience in the UI, you can go live with Article Answers quickly. First, you enable Article Answers in the bot's homepage and select the question, answer, and title fields in your knowledge articles, along with the data categories of knowledge articles you want to make available to your bot. Next, you select which bots you want to enable this feature in by enabling Article Answers in the Bot Overview page. You will now see a new system dialog called Article Answers. This dialog is automatically called whenever a customer asks a question that doesn't already have a pre-trained intent to answer the question. The dialog is also designed to offer multiple article choices in a menu when there are multiple relevant articles to answer your customer's question. You can also capture feedback from your customers through a new feedback logging action. And finally, if you navigate to the bot performance page and click on the Event Log tab, the feedback you collect will be displayed in your bot event logs to help you monitor the performance of your knowledge article responses in real time. Moving on to our next feature, we're introducing time series metrics to help you gain deeper insights into the performance of your bot by tracking meaningful aggregated metrics. With this release, you'll be able to create Salesforce reports or download reports from the App Exchange to monitor your bot's performance. Now you can create reports to track hourly and daily bot metrics, including peak usage by hour, error rates, or how frequently certain dialogues are used to better understand where you need to improve your bot. Let's explore how we can build these time series metrics reports from our bot data. When you navigate to the Performance Overview page in Bots, you will now see an option to view bot performance metrics in Salesforce Reports. Salesforce Reports is available to all customers who have platform licenses. To build a Salesforce report, we can head back to our Salesforce Setup page, click on Report Types, and create a new custom report type. You will see that we have two new objects available through this feature: Conversation Definition Dialog Daily Metrics and Conversation Definition Dialog Hourly Metrics, which are aggregated metrics to create time series data. Let's pick the hourly metrics, fill in the fields, and go ahead and save this new report type. Now, we head back to the report object to generate the report. First, I'm going to locate the custom report type I had just created for hourly metrics. Once the data has been loaded, I can specify which fields I would like to populate in my report, like dialog name, value, or the hour, and I can also apply filters to my data. Let's say I want to analyze the number of sessions that were started each hour over the past day. I can group my data by hour and dialog definition name and visualize my report through the various inbuilt charts, like stacked column charts within Salesforce Reports. Next up, we've got a few new features in the Bot Builder interface to make your job as an admin easier. Through Object Search, we've streamlined the process of searching object data within the Bot Builder through clicks and not code. You can define your search criteria within the builder and deliver the data directly to your customers. For example, you can show your customers their latest orders or even update an upcoming appointment with the help of this new Object Search action. With the new Error Handler dialog, you will now be able to configure what your bot says when it encounters an error. This pre-built system dialog comes with a friendly message, but you can always customize this dialog to fit your bot's language and tone, or define your own error path. Lastly, just as you're able to clone a bot, you can also clone dialogues with the new cloning actions. You can now set up a bot with several similar dialogues through the cloning action, which can copy over messages, questions, rules, and actions. Last but not least, we've been working on new NLP improvements to help you easily set up and boost your bot's NLP performance. Let's begin with Template Bot Intents. Last release, we delivered the ability to create a bot from a working template that you could deploy live to your customers in minutes instead of starting from scratch. Now, those template bots are more intelligent with dialogues enabled with NLP. Next, we've enhanced our NLP engine to support a lower number of utterances per intent, from 150 down to only 50 utterances as a baseline to get started with NLP. So now you can create intents with even fewer training data. Now on to Input Recommender. As a recap, the Input Recommender feature recommends new utterances from your chat transcript data to improve your intents. This feature now works with all bot-supported NLP languages, so you can train your bot in the language of your customers and scale your bots across more regions. And finally, with enhanced bot training to intent sets, you can train your bot and share new inputs from the bot training game directly to intent sets in just a few clicks. This intent data is also portable across multiple bots in different orgs. Now that we've learned about the latest features, let's see these NLP improvements in action. Starting with the template bot, which already comes set up with common dialogues, we've now added utterances for each of these dialogues to make it easy for you to start using NLP in your bot. Finally, when you navigate to the Model Management tab, you can easily improve your bot's intelligence by reclassifying the confused utterances directly to intent sets, and share these intents across multiple bots in different orgs.
Well, that's a lot of new features for Einstein chatbots. We're looking forward to getting your feedback as you try out these new features in the spring release, and be sure to sign up for the Article Answers pilot program. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Amit to talk about Einstein for Service.
Thank you, Avantika. That was an awesome presentation. Hello, My name is Ahmed Geiger. I'm a director of product management on the Einstein for Service team. Einstein for Service is a collection of products that assist service agents to make them more efficient at work by leveraging machine learning. I'm very excited to share the new features and products we are launching as part of the upcoming Spring 21 release. The team has been hard at work, and I believe you will appreciate the amount of new functionality we are delivering. To start things off, I want to announce a new pilot program, Einstein Voice Wrap-Up. It will specifically work for Service Cloud Voice customer, providing recommendations to agents when they wrap up a voice call. We use machine learning to predict discrete field values needed in the voice call wrap-up process. It improves agents' efficiency and increases voice call object completion for better reporting. Let's see a demo of Einstein Voice Call Wrap-Up in action. Let me draw your attention to three things. On the top left corner, you can see that the contact details of the caller are appearing. It's because we're able to make a lookup from the phone number with our telephony provider. In the center, you will notice a conversation component. You will be able to see near real time the conversation transcript showing up. In the top right corner, you can notice a voice wrap-up component. The field's value will be populated once the call is terminated. The agent can confirm the value in a blink of an eye and click on Save. Just like that, the agent saved precious seconds for this call and can move on to the next one. We are looking for customers using Service Cloud Voice and are interested in improving their agent efficiency. Let your account executive know that you are interested, and he will be able to connect you with us. Einstein Case Wrap-Up will remain a pilot program in this release. We are really excited about the feedback we have received from a pilot customer. Einstein Case Wrap-Up analyzes the content of chat transcripts and related objects, and it provides recommendations to agents when they wrap up a chat. Einstein Case Wrap-Up leverage machine learning to predict field values needed in the case wrap-up process. It improves agent efficiency and the case field completion for better reporting. If you are interested in participating in a pilot program for case wrap-up, please let your account executive know. We are looking for customers using chat with cases and having 10,000 historical chats. I'm now moving to Einstein case classification and case routing, which can intelligently triage cases, automatically route cases to the right agent or queue, and accelerate time to value. One of the new features of case classification I want to highlight is the new range we support for the threshold for select best and automate value. With a very low threshold, you can virtually automate the routing of every new case, ensuring that all your cases are handed to the right agent or queue. Now, let's jump into article recommendations. Article recommendations help surface the right answer to every incoming question. It assists the agents by leveraging machine learning to review case details and text to find relevant articles. It recommends the best articles with the agent's workspace as the context of the case change. For Spring 21 release, I want to highlight the general availability of multilingual support, supporting French, German, Portuguese, Italian, and Spanish. We have made a lot of improvement on our latency, reducing it from 9 seconds to 6 seconds. Another highlight for article recommendations is the new model scorecard. Einstein requires a lot of rich cases and knowledge data to learn from. The model scorecard gives admin better insight about the data and the effectiveness of your predictive model. At a glance, admins can tell how to improve recommendations by improving the data quality. Let's talk about empowering your agent with responses to common questions. With Einstein Reply Recommendations, we assist agents by surfacing responses recommendation to agents in real time based on the context of the chat or messaging conversation. We have an exciting pilot going along Einstein Reply Recommendations. Extending to languages, beyond English, with French, Dutch, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Turkish, and Polish support. To participate in this pilot program, let your account executive know that you are interested. We are looking for candidates using chat on Lightning and having about 10,000 historic chat in one of the languages that I previously mentioned. In Spring 21, we have added a new AI capability to the Einstein portfolio, Einstein Recommendation Builder. Einstein Recommendation Builder is the industry's most easy-to-use recommendation engine and enables admin to build personalized recommendation in context across any domain or vertical. So how exactly does Einstein Recommendation Builder help you? At a high level, it allows you to improve your business outcome for your organization with access to real-time personalized recommendation to drive revenue and CSAT. It helps build intelligent recommendation fast using a point-and-click interface, and accelerate decision-making by surfacing actionable recommendation to your user using a combination of business rules and machine learning. Unlike other solutions on the market, Einstein Recommendation Builder makes it easy for companies to implement, allows you to seamlessly combine AI with business rules, and provides model transparency with metrics. Being an AI capability in the Salesforce platform, Einstein Recommendation Builder can be leveraged across a variety of use cases in sales, service, marketing, and IT. Here are a few ways this new feature can be used. For sales teams, you can help your reps increase revenue through upsell and cross-sell recommendation to existing customers and prospects. For service reps, Einstein Recommendation Builder can help your agents improve CSAT through relevant offers and increase revenue through personalized product recommendations. For those working in marketing, Einstein Recommendation Builder can help marketers send the right contents to the right target, therefore increasing customer engagement. And for IT, Einstein Recommendation Builder can help you create amazing, innovative apps and experiences for every function. Here's how it works. Building a recommendation with Einstein Recommendation Builder starts with data stored in your Salesforce org. Einstein provides recommendations based on historic outcome data used as the input. For example, if you are looking to make the product recommendation to accounts, Einstein learns from purchase patterns of accounts that are similar in terms of size, geography, industry, and also leverage an account past purchase history to make product recommendations. Recommendations are then accessed within Einstein Next Best Action, a decision engine that combines business policies with AI to deliver actionable recommendations. User can then take action on this recommendation by executing a lightning flow. For example, accepting a loan offer can automatically trigger a loan application workflow. The outcome of the business workflow feeds back into the AI engine, which allows it to get smarter over time. To conclude, let me play a demo of Einstein Recommendation Builder.
Go to Setup and search for Einstein Recommendation Builder to start a new recommendation. Select the Salesforce object that contains what you want to recommend. It's called the Recommended Items object. For example, you can use your product catalog, which is stored in your product object. Then select Recipient object, which is the object that receives the recommendation. In this case, customers show as contacts. Recommendations usually appear here. And choose the object that stores the past outcomes that Einstein can learn from, such as the order history. Use segments. You can improve recommendation performance by segmenting your recipient or recommended items to focus only on relevant records. For example, your recipient object is contact, and you're interested only in contacts that are in the finance industry. So, to segment your recipient object, use the filter condition industry equals finance. Exclude irrelevant fields. By default, Einstein considers all the fields in the recipient and recommended items objects. You can exclude fields that aren't relevant to your recommendation. Doing so can improve performance and mitigate some kinds of bias. Change the definition of positive and negative. The way you define positive and negative interactions can affect your recommendation's performance. You can get better results if you define a positive interaction as the desired outcome. For example, a contact purchases a product. Negative examples aren't required, but can help improve the recommendation. They give useful predictive signals when available. An example is when a prospect explicitly rejects a promotion. When you're satisfied with your settings, you can build the recommendation. After your recommendation is built, review the results in the Einstein Recommendation Builder Scorecard. The scorecard shows metrics such as overall recommendation quality and predicted lift. You can also drill down to understand how each field influences the model compared to other fields. When you're satisfied with your recommendation, you can deploy it to a next best action strategy. With Strategy Builder, you can filter and override recommendations to suit your business needs and prevent duplicate recommendations. Use the Einstein Load element to select the recommendation that you built using Einstein Recommendation Builder. You can also add other Strategy Builder elements to meet your business objectives. For example, you can filter recommendations, add business rules to decide when to show certain recommendations, or combine multiple Einstein recommendations into your strategy. After you create a strategy in Strategy Builder, choose a page to display your recommendations and run your strategy. Here you can use a Lightning record page, an app's homepage, a community page, a visual force page, or another app, depending on where you want recommendation offers to appear.
Thank you so much for watching. The team and I are looking forward to getting your feedback. I'll turn it back to our host, Elna, to take us through some questions from the audience.
All right, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to dive straight into questions now. We're live, and I have a few questions lined up, but feel free to keep posting questions while we go here. Post them in the Release Readiness community or on Twitter, and don't forget to use the hashtag Salesforce Live. We got about 10 minutes or so. We're going to ask as many as we can. So let me start with one from Powell. So there's quite a few people who are asking about the difference between chat, embedded chat, live agent, messaging, etc. So if you could just speak to that, whether messaging or in-app and web will supersede the existing chat or live agent solution. In other words, will it replace it? Are they completely different? Can you just clarify that?
Yeah, so messaging for in-app and web is our brand new chat product. So for some time, they will all be available, but we're really focusing all of our innovation in the new chat product. And so one thing I want to highlight with messaging for in-app and web is that you can have asynchronous messaging. So that means that in case the customer drops in and out, you lose internet connectivity or anything like that, the chat is continued. The customer doesn't need to start a brand new chat session. And then in addition, we have a lot more experiences coming for that chat experience. So you can be able to have rich content, and it'll support other features as well.
So messaging sounds to me more like it's like a PM or DM, like you would send a private message or like a text where the history remains. It's not like a session whereas chat, you have a session that begins and ends. Would you say that's the main distinction in terms of the asynchronous element?
So the chat sessions, you can start a new one or the end one. That will be customizable with how the admin decides to set up the org. But the main thing is like sometimes when your internet drops in and out, we don't want the customer to have to start a brand new chat session. But it can get routed to different agents depending on the topic and things like that.
Because I have some messaging histories from folks in the community that go back like 7 years. So yeah, you may not want to be engaged for quite that long on a single incident. So also Randy asked another clarifying question. Is messaging the same as embedded chat?
So the messaging for in-app is part of the embedded service. And so you create it with the embedded service, but it's different than the current chat that exists.
Gotcha. And then let's talk about bots. What parts of the bot enhancements are included versus extra cost?
So all of the bot enhancements that were in the presentation, including article answers, the NLP improvements, and some of the enhancements like cloning, object search, all of those are included with the existing bots license that you have today. So all of these enhancements are free.
Nice. Great. Eric was wondering, again, how a chat would actually fully end. So if the customer, like you were describing a scenario where they get disconnected and come back, is there a mechanism for saying, okay, this is the end or end session, or is that something that happens automatically, like you said, with admin settings?
So there are different options of how you can end the session. We'll leave it up to the admin of how they want to do it. So they could do it by a timeout after some amount of time. It could be instigated by the agent, or maybe the customer will choose to end the chat once they're done. So we're leaving it pretty open-ended, so that way it fits the needs of all of our customers.
Powell was asking about Einstein reply recommendations and wondering, did he correctly hear that Polish is being supported?
Yes, yes, Polish indeed. I actually replied on community, but indeed it will be supported. It's a pilot program for now, by the way.
Okay, nice. So he was asking if you could just put in, just remind him what are the supported languages. If there's an article for that, that would be great to put that in the community afterwards if you have it.
Sure.
Now I know I'm not sure if we have the knowledge product manager on today, but can anyone speak to whether reporting for knowledge improvements is on the roadmap? The thumbs up. Yeah, they're saying the thumbs up is great, but it doesn't really tell you a lot. So
it is something that our knowledge team is actively considering for the roadmap. And if I'm happy to tag on that question, specifically our knowledge PM, who can share more about it. But it is something that we've been discussing.
That was from Lori. And Lori had another question also about attaching an article to an email. And I know that's been asked a lot. That's a very popular request. Have you heard anything about that yet, as opposed to putting it in the body of the email?
Yeah, so that is something that we are also looking into. I believe there's also an idea exchange about it. So if you upvote that one, we can make sure that it makes the roadmap. But yeah, that is one that we're also hearing.
I'm pretty sure that came up last time in Winter 21. I remember that one. So thanks for that question, Lori. So another one for you, Ruchi. Regarding the E2C threading update, what can we do to make sure we're prepared?
Yeah, so there's two things we recommend. So first is try the update in a sandbox and check if there are any blockers. Specifically revisit custom code that uses ref IDs. And refer to the knowledge article, and please come to the webinar, which Jess has posted in our Trailblazer community, where we can answer all your questions. And secondly, please keep posting questions in the Trailblazer community. We are actively monitoring that. So as questions come along, as you're testing it out, we will go ahead and respond to that in real time, so you can ensure that we're logging all your concerns.
I believe I saw we have a topic for that too. I think if you tag it with email threading, that's how we're keeping track. So if you look at the email threading topic feed, you'll also see other questions that customers have asked. So maybe your question has already been answered. So it's a good idea to check out that feed as well. So what about the Service Admin Advisory Board? Can you talk a little bit about how you could join? What types of folks are you looking for? I think one person asked, do you have to be an experienced service admin, or can you be somebody who's fairly new to it?
Yeah.
What are the requirements and how do you?
Great question. So yes, we are looking for admins with any sort of range of experience as we build the new experience called Service Admin Center. So under that, feel free to join so long as you are the person responsible for setting up Service Cloud for your org. We are open to any and all experience. And actually there is a link to a form where you can join. Jess has posted it in the Release Readiness Live Trailblazers group. And we actually do ask about your experience level. And so then we can make sure that we better tailor the questions to you. But essentially it'll require no more than 45 minutes a month. We might be showing you some designs, giving you some ideas of videos or visions, and asking you, is this something that you could see solving your needs, or if you have any other ideas. So it's a great way to dog food our products and to get in on the ground level and be a part of developing our next generation of admin features.
I'm sold. Sign me up. I'm ready. I know you're putting a lot of effort into the service experience, the setup experience for service. So it's really good to see. And yeah, you'll get a firsthand look at what the vision is for that. Okay, some more questions are coming in. Let's see. I have one from Seth. Will omni-channel flow work with all omni-channel routing types, for example, chat, messaging, case, etc.?
Yeah, so one of the great things with the omni-channel that we've newly built out is it works with all of your different messaging channel types. So with SMS, Facebook, messaging for in-app and web, so you can all do it all together at once.
And question from Divya about skills-based routing. Is that supported in in-app messaging? So, or is it recommended to migrate from live chat to in-app messaging in general? What are your thoughts on that? If you currently have, I guess, live agent, should you be switching, or what should be the plan?
Yeah, so we highly recommend that you do switch, but just to emphasize again, messaging for web is going pilot in the next release, and only messaging for in-app is pilot right now. So that's just one thing to note. And then I think there was what was the first part of the question?
Oh, what about skills-based routing? Was that supported in the in-app messaging?
Yes, it will be supported in the in-app messaging.
So if it's in a pilot right now, then really the early adopters at this point are the ones who might want to switch. Is that the case? Or yeah, maybe wait till it's GA and then, or come up with a plan for switching now, and then you'll be really ahead of the curve. So maybe not right away, but yeah, over time, that might be something to think about. Richard says, currently we can only get 2 weeks of session chat data when we use the Salesforce reports. We're using Einstein Analytics to see data older than 2 weeks. Will that change with the new messaging tool?
So if he's referring to the bot time series metrics, that one with the new reporting data, the hourly metrics will stay for 7 days and the daily metrics will stay for 90 days.
Okay, I think he might be talking about the chat. So how much of the chat is bot versus live? Are there different, is the history different for a bot conversation as opposed to when it gets handed over to an agent? Or is it the same?
We can post a follow-up for this in the community that kind of clarifies how the bot and the chat part of it, the transcript works.
Yeah, I can understand why someone would ask that, because you might want to know for bot conversations, they're fairly predictable because there's a mapped answer for certain types of questions. So it's not really unique conversations. So you may not need to keep it if the whole thing was encapsulated by a bot. But if it actually got handed over and there was a conversation that was unique, they might want to keep that for longer and be able to report on it in the regular Salesforce reports. Because I think what Richard is saying is he has to use Einstein Analytics to go back further. So if you have anything to add, otherwise we'll just, we'll keep that conversation going in the community.
I'll post a follow-up in the community about that.
All right, cool. Preston asked, with in-app messaging chat, will customers be able to select their open cases to initiate a chat conversation for a case that was opened earlier through a previous conversation, or maybe through email to case?
So at the moment, the pilot version does not support that, but that's definitely something that we can look into for the future releases.
So maybe that's someone who might want to join the pilot so they can give that feedback, right?
Yeah, and so if you are interested in joining the pilot, make sure you reach out to your account teams so we can connect.
All right. So you mentioned messaging for web is going to be a pilot. Can you talk about when that's going to be available as a pilot?
We are planning to pilot in the next release and then go GA after that.
All right. Avantika, can we use article answers even if we have intents enabled in the bot? And how does it work with intents?
Great question. Yes, you will be able to use article answers even if you have intents. So article answers basically serves as a fallback to intent. So whenever, a conversation comes into your bot and it's not identified by an intent, then article answers will search against your knowledge base questions to match the appropriate question with the article and serve that answer.
All right, I got one more question. This is for Ahmet. Can Einstein Case Wrap-Up work with languages other than English?
Yes, we actually support any languages at this time.
Excellent. All right, we have reached the end of the broadcast. We have to get up and running, pull the team together for Salesforce Field Service, which is coming up at 11 Pacific. So go get a cup of coffee and come back and join us then. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. If we didn't get to your question live, or if you're just now typing a question and we're not going to have time for it, don't worry, we'll follow up with you in the community or in Twitter within a few days. And remember, all of our webcasts are available on the Salesforce Live website for later viewing. And I can't wait to hear how you're using innovations from Salesforce in your own org. So let's just keep that conversation going out in the Trailblazer community. And we will see you back, hopefully, for a field service. And if not, tomorrow, we're here all week. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, team. Bye-bye.